Good evening, everyone. Marshawn Powers, Derek Dimit for Believe Land Media. We just witnessed the USFL championship game. Birmingham Stallions defeated the Pittsburgh Maulers. Marshawn was down here on the sidelines. I was upstairs. Marshawn, what did you see down here at field level?
Oh, man, where do we start? Beginning of the game, the Maulers got it. They took almost a 10-minute drive.
Right.
Only settled for 3 points.
Right.
Now, that's a big testament to the Stallions defense,
Yes.
who, out of the 4 playoff teams I said last week, they were the worst.
Right.
And like Scooby Wright said in the press conference, they didn't really see anything different from the game that they saw about, 8-9 weeks ago,
right,
versus today. So, it seemed like it was just business for the Stallions. And I don't want to say that the Maulers had deer in headlights, but it just seemed like that, maybe they were a little overwhelmed today.
Especially on the offense. And that's been their Achilles heel all year. They would get down into the red zone, they'd move the ball to get down there, and then it's like with that short amount of field, the defense could just clam them up, and that was that.
Just to be honest, today there wasn't a lot of plays that, like, big chunk plays, 20-yard plays down the field. It seemed like a bunch of check down Charlie.
Right.
Troy Williams, a guy who is a dual threat quarterback, a guy who has the ability to extend plays. The defense just wasn't giving him today. He couldn't find Henny for the big play. He found Henny for one big play.
Right.
Couldn't find Simmons. Couldn't find I can't think of the other guy I can name off the top of my head. Grushek. It was a lot of other guys that he just not could find today. And that's just a testament of how the Stallions came and played today. The Stallions were not allowing the Maulers to beat them in the game, where the Maulers, offensively, they had to play like the championship team today, and offensively, they just could not do it.
Yeah, there were 2 big plays for the Maulers. There was that fumble recovery that looked like it was going to be a touchdown. They ended up handing it over, and then handing it off, and the penalty brought it back. And then on that deep pass to the end zone there behind us, it looked like Ishmael Hyman had the ball, rolled over, it knocked out of his hand. Yeah. Can you talk about those 2 big plays?
Basically, the first play, Ishmael Hyman, he had a streaking play. He was wide open. It's one of those plays where you should have caught that touchdown. That right there, could have kept the game at 1 point, 2 points. So and then you bring it back down here. Big man just got a little tired.
Yep, definitely.
Big man he had about 25 to 30 yards to go.
Right.
And, big fella just couldn't make it.
Right.
So he passed it off, but unfortunately you passed it off to the guy who literally
was a yard in front of him.
Literally, about a half a yard to a yard in front of you. And then, unfortunately the Stallions defense was, played well. And at the end of the day, no points came from it. Blewett missed what was it, a 55-yard?
Yeah.
I want to say 55-yard wide left. So,
that was nailing the coffin there.
It was just a coup de grace right there. And then at the end of the game, Troy Williams gets strip sacked. And, the Stallions was just talking. They were talking. I can't say the word I want to say. They were talking big stuff.
Oh, yeah.
On the sideline.
Yeah.
Let it be known that this is their house.
Oh, yeah. For Marshawn Powers, I'm Derek Dimit. Believe Land Media. Follow us on all of your socials. Have a good night, everybody.
We'll see y'all next year.